Welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here to talk about NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Everything Pro Wrestling proudly brings to you its NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4 preview and predictions. Everything Pro Wrestling is a podcast that is dedicated to its fan base, bringing you audio content every Wednesday. And right now we're going to drop some hashtag Wednesday Wisdom on you guys with some stats about Everything Pro Wrestling. Right now, Everything Pro Wrestling total plays of all time are over 1,000. And we are also averaging 72 plays per episode. And that is all because of you guys. Make sure you check us out on our other social media outlets. Our Twitter handle is @EPW Show. Make sure you're on there and give us a follow to talk some pro wrestling. And also, we have a YouTube page, Everything Pro Wrestling. You'll see our logo. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out our brand new SummerSlam preview and predictions, guys. Thank you so much for helping this podcast become successful. And do me a favor this week, make sure you share this podcast with a friend, someone who loves pro wrestling, or share it to a group on Facebook. Whatever you want to do, guys, make sure that you keep getting the word out and helping Everything Pro Wrestling grow. Thank you. NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4. On paper, this looks like it's going to be a tremendous show. Triple H and the NXT brand have their work cut out for them, but they always seem to deliver a great show. I have not seen a bad takeover yet. Knock on wood. And I hope that we get a good show here. The first match I believe we're going to see is the NXT Tag Title match with the Undisputed Era defending their belts versus Moustache Mountain. Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly will be taking on Tyler Bate and Trent Seven. These guys have had amazing matches. If you have not seen their NXT match that Dave Meltzer gave 5 stars, or you have not seen their match from NXT, the UK special, tremendous stuff, guys. I recommend you go back and check all those out if you're looking for some good wrestling content for the week. Now, with this match, I feel like there's a backstory going on here for the NXT UK brand, and I think that Trent Seven and Tyler Bate are going to be catalysts for that story. So I'm predicting the Undisputed Era to walk away with a win, and they have other things to worry about throughout this night because they have someone else in their group who's defending their championship as well. In our next match, we have 2 of the top rising stars in NXT taking on each other in a one-on-one match. It is the Velveteen Dream versus EC3. Now, these guys were tag team partners, and they had a falling out during the match when they were overdoing some tapings in the UK for a live event for the network. And ever since then, the Velveteen Dream and EC3 have been having issues. This is a very tough match when you look at it from who needs to go over, because both men are in desperate need of a victory right now. Velveteen Dream has not won in quite some time, and I don't think EC3 has won yet on any of these takeover shows, or he hasn't been featured on them, whatever the situation may be. I feel the Velveteen Dream needs this win more. Velveteen Dream's last win was against Cassius Ohno, and I think that was at Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. But the Velveteen Dream is really, really in desperate need of a victory, and I think he can get it here. And then EC3 needs to figure out a way to get into a feud where he can get a win immediately after this. How, I don't know, but he needs a win too. But the Velveteen Dream, I see big things in his future. I feel he deserves a title run with either the North American title or the NXT Championship in the future. And I'm very interested to see what's he going to come out as for his entrance. We've seen him do Hulk Hogan. We've seen him pay tribute to Ravishing Rick Rude. If you guys have any good ideas, send them to me, but makes you wonder, what's he going to come out as for his entrance? Match number 3 is for the NXT Women's Championship. we will have the champion, Shayna Baszler, defending her belt versus Kairi Sane. Both of these women facing off against each other has a lot of history behind it. This goes all the way back to the first Mae Young Classic. They were both in the finals. Shayna Baszler faced off against Kairi Sane. So much has happened since then that I think a lot of people forget that. Kairi Sane won that battle, but ever since then, Shayna Baszler has been on a warpath, destroying everyone that's gotten in her way. And she believes that Kairi Sane will be no different. She has beaten Kairi Sane, too, to become number one contender on regular matches. So this is an interesting storyline, in my opinion. But it's very tough to predict. I found this match to be the hardest one to decipher who was going to win and give a reason why. I am a huge fan of Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane, and I think either one of them could carry the NXT Women's Championship with pride and do a good job while doing it. I feel like this match is not going to have a winner. If I had to take one, I'm going to say this right now. Shayna Baszler is going to retain, in my opinion. But I wouldn't go as far as saying that she's going to win the match. So I think there's going to be some kind of wishy-washy finish. And I think you can bring this up at WWE Evolution and have that play into the Mae Young Classic 2, the second tournament they're doing, and have that play a part with it, because you'll have a rematch for the first match showing this is why this tournament's important. And then you could place some emphasis back on, and this is for the NXT Women's Championship, and this is where these girls want to get to one day. I think it'll work out. And when you look at these type of matches with all this history, on my SummerSlam preview and prediction show, I mentioned Daniel Bryan and The Miz, and this is what this match reminds me of. They have all this history in between them, and they can play back to stuff from 2010, from a few years ago, from way back when, and present day. There is so much history with these feuds that keep popping back up over and over and over again that I think there's a tremendous investment in fans who are interested in that. And speaking of Daniel Bryan, did you know that WWE 2K Games has brought back 2K Showcase mode?
Trust me, I don't want to be doing this any more than you guys want me to be doing this. You need to fight for your dreams. The truth is, I've been wrestling since I was 18 years old. That's what Daniel Bryan does, is he fights for his dreams. I have loved this in a way that I have never loved anything else. Fight for your dreams! Fight for your dreams! It is with a heavy heart. And if you fight for your dreams and the utmost sadness, your dreams will fight for you! That I officially announce my retirement. Will Daniel Bryan compete in a WWE ring again?
Pre-order the deluxe edition and play 4 days early.
Well, that's pretty cool. Daniel Bryan will be starring in the showcase mode for WWE 2K19. Don't forget, fans, WWE 2K19 will be available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. The release date for the game is set to be October 5th if you pre-order. If not, it'll be released worldwide on October 9th. So make sure you check the game out. Next, we get into two superstars who I hope are in the next WWE game. And this match is going to be for the North American Championship. The first ever champ, Adam Cole, baby, will be taking on the one and only Ricochet. I feel that this match has the potential to steal the show once again. That's the cool thing about NXT. Most of the matches could be match of the night. And I think Adam Cole and Ricochet are going to put on one heck of a match. Now, this feud is just basically about who's better, and Ricochet and Adam Cole are just tremendous wrestlers. So it'll be interesting to see how their styles mesh in the ring. But I am predicting that we get a new North American champion in Ricochet. How it happens, I don't know. But I think Adam Cole is ready to move on to the main event scene, and this would be the perfect time for him to do so. So Ricochet is who I see winning the North American Championship. Before we get into the main event, which was originally a triple threat match, I do have to talk about Aleister Black being injured and being taken out of the match. Aleister Black got injured at a house show match, apparently, and he had to be removed from the triple threat match with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Very sad. Never like to see anyone get hurt. But Aleister Black being out has presented something different. They're doing this kind of whodunit storyline. He was left outside after being attacked, and he was laid out, and they call William Regal over to see who did it, and there are a bunch of guys standing outside, and it makes you wonder who could have done it. There were so many people around, and we're going to have to try to find a clue or figure out some way for who done it. And I'm going to give you my list of suspects for who I think did it. I'm going to lay out a few options for who I think could have taken out Aleister Black. Now, first up, we have Tommaso Ciampa. He is the easiest person to pin this on. He was the champ. He was scared. He didn't want to fight him. Seems too easy, though, for that to happen and for them to go back to that. We also have Lars Sullivan as a person who I think is a good choice. Supposedly, according to storyline, Lars Sullivan got his jaw broken by the Black Mass. And why wouldn't he want revenge for that and take out Aleister and ruin his championship aspirations? Also a valid point, I think. But someone who could use this, who could revitalize their career from all of this and has been involved in some of the storyline as well, is Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno definitely gave off a weird vibe when they were talking to him. And I feel that you could put him in that spot and revitalize everything he's been doing, because he's just been beating jobbers and then losing to the mid-card talent. And maybe Cassius Ohno is tired of seeing people step over him, whether it is an Aleister Black, a Johnny Gargano, a Tommaso Ciampa. And maybe he says, you know what, my plan is to take out everyone and I want to become the NXT champion because I'm sick of this, whatever the reason may be. I'm interested to hear from you guys, though. Who do you think took out Aleister Black? All right, guys, we are at the point of the main event, and we are here to talk about, for the NXT Championship, it will be a last man standing match. We will have Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. This feud has been tremendous. One of the best ones WWE's done in quite some time, if I put NXT under that umbrella. And I give them props for this because I have been very invested in this feud, because DIY, as you guys know from my old preview and predictions video, were one of my favorite tag teams in NXT. And as much as it hurt to see them break up, it was so worth it for this feud. Ciampa and Gargano are the exact opposites. Ciampa, perfect heel. Gargano, an easy to get behind babyface. Now, these guys have been going at it for several months, and where does this end? Because I think a lot of people are wondering, okay, you got to get past this feud for now. And if it were up to me, I think that both guys need to stay down there for a little bit, and you could tell a story with this. And if it were up to me right now, I think that you end up having Tommaso Ciampa retain the NXT Championship. Now, how do you do that? You're going to have to do that in an underhanded way. I feel that Cassius Ohno taking out Aleister Black, or maybe someone else, whoever else is involved in it, if Cassius Ohno aligns himself maybe with Tommaso Ciampa, saying, well, Johnny Gargano, you kept taking chances from me. We came up together in the independents, and I'm really sick and tired of you. Boom. You could play it right off of that and have Cassius Ohno help Tommaso Ciampa win. Or you could have Tommaso just do it in some scumbag fashion and figure out a way to cheat or get out of it at the last second. But he's got to have a plan in this, and I think that's what we're going to see happen. I think Tommaso will retain the NXT Championship and prove to everyone that he is deserving of the belt. And after maybe one or two takeovers, you have Johnny Gargano get one last match for it and put everything on the line to try to be your NXT champion. Thank you guys so much for listening to Everything Pro Wrestling. Please do me a favor and make sure you share your NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4 predictions with me as well. I want to hear what you guys have to say about the show. And we will try to have a review up later on after the fact. I will be going out. I have a prior thing to do that night. But I will review the show later on, hopefully before SummerSlam. And we will try to get that up on the podcast right away for you guys. Also, big shout out to the band Residency. They do the intro and outro for Everything Pro Wrestling. They are a band from Western New York. Make sure you go and check those guys out. And we're out, everyone. Thank you for listening. Peace.